For today's video, we're going to talk about the 11 hotels for Universal Orlando and how they relate to Epic Universe. So we're going to put this into 3 tiers. Are they walking distance? Are they a little short bus drive over? Or are they over at the main hub of Universal Orlando? So we're going to keep them in those 3 tiers. And inside each tier, I'll hit on the price range, transportation, and what type of family I think is best for each one. Just a quick note, all of these Universal hotels have swimming pools. Some of them have slides in their swimming pools. They all have laundry access and gyms. Plus, they all include on-site transportation and early park admission. So I'm just not going to mention that for each one, but just wanted to note that that is available. All right, so let's start with Tier 1. These 3 hotels are within walking distance to Epic Universe. Like if you're going to Epic Universe and you want to be right there by the park, you don't want to have to be in a long bus to get to Epic Universe, or you even want to walk straight into Epic Universe, you're going to want to pick one of these hotels. So the first one is the Helios Grand. You can walk straight into the park from the Grand Helios. I think that's a huge perk of staying at this hotel. If you're willing to pay a little bit more, you can have a park view and you can look straight into the park at night. All right, let's talk price for the Grand Helios. So the minimum is around $293 and up per night for the lowest categories, so not park facing, with many dates running notably higher, especially suites and park view. So with this hotel, I would think deluxe pricing start on high 200s and climbs very fast if you want that park view or suites. So the Grand Helios is more of a luxurious Mediterranean feel, but it is a little bit of a splurge with the shortest walk. Being a premier hotel for Universal Orlando, it does have your typical food options, but there's also sit-down restaurants. There's the bar on the roof of the hotel. But if you want to be able to have that one-time experience where you can open your window and look out into this brand new park, or you like the idea of being able to maybe not pay for that park view, but in the morning for early park admission, you want to be able to just walk through security and go straight into Epic, Grand Helios is going to give you that option. All right, the second hotel that is in walking distance, I'm going to loop these 2 together, is the Stella, Nova, and Terra Luna hotels. They're sister hotels right across the street from each other, and they're right across the street from Epic. So the nice thing about these is Stella Nova is actually walking distance. There's a walking path and it takes about 5 minutes to get from the hotel lobby to Epic Universe. We walked it this past fall and it's not a bad walk at all. Both of these, so I will say, but with Terra Luna, it does not have a walking path, so you will have to take the bus transportation over to Epic, but it's like a 2-3 minute drive depending on red lights. But keep in mind, the buses, of course, will take a little bit longer, just loading process and unloading people, but it's still not a bad bus ride compared to if you stayed at the non-walking distance hotels. All right, as far as price range, Stella Nova and Terra Luna are both considered prime value hotels. So they're typically under $150 per night, closer to $200 depending on the time. I'm pretty sure when we stayed last fall, we paid like maybe around $130 a night, but it will vary and it could go up just depending on how busy it is in the time of year. So these are sister hotels. They're pretty much the same. They're just a little bit off, but the rooms are pretty similar. Food offerings are pretty similar. They both have this bright space theme and like they kind of sparkle. The tile that they have on the hotels, they're so pretty, especially at night when they have them kind of lit up. So these are best for families with younger kids who love the space and the pools and want to walk to Epic without paying the Grand Helios price. All right, let's jump over to what we're going to call Tier 2. So the Endless Summer hotels are not quite as far away as the main hotels. And when I say as far away, the main hotels are about 15 minutes, so it's not horrible. But for this video, we're gonna say these are Tier 2, the Endless Summers. Universal considers Endless Summer resorts as value inns and suites. There is Endless Summer Dockside and Endless Summer Surfside. They're right across the street each other, and they're like sister hotels as well. I would say these are more of like a 5 or 10 minute distance to Epic and 5 or 10 minute distance to Universal. They're kind of in the middle between the two. So the Endless Summers, they're around low hundreds per night, often 150 for many dates. They can be a little bit more during peak season. We're staying at Endless Summer in May. of this year, and I think I booked it for $128 a night for a suite. Now keep in mind that is with my pass holder discount, but without it, I don't think it was a whole lot more. So the great thing about the Endless Summer Resorts is they do have family style suites. The first room has 2 queens, and then the second room has a queen. So you have 3 queens in there. It can sleep up to 6 people, and then it has like a little table sitting area. These are great for larger families, or if you're like us and we just wanted extra space. So the great things about these resorts is they're still nice, universal on-property resort. The suites are great for families that need a larger room, families who like to prioritize budget over location, and trips where you're okay building a little bit of time into getting there back and forth transportation on buses. Something that I would watch out for these rooms is because you are taking a bus back and forth, make sure you build that in to, like, say when you're going to early park admission, give yourself a little bit of extra time to get there, especially in the mornings when it's busy and everybody's loading. You do not get express pass with these resorts. Like the ones we mentioned earlier, those do not come with express passes. I think the Endless Summer Resorts, both of them, they're nice. I would compare these to, say, the All-Stars if you're a Disney person. They're similar to those resorts. As far as food, they have your traditional food. They have like a grab and go area, and then they do have a restaurant, like you go up, like a quick service type restaurant where you can go in and buy burgers and pizza and things. And the last tier is going to include all the other Universal hotels, and I kind of lumped these together because even though they are a little bit spaced out, I don't feel like that's gonna really impact your bus time to get to Epic. Start at the lower price and work our way up. With the lowest one, you're gonna have Cabana Bay. Cabana Bay is also considered a value inn and suite similar to the Endless Summers. We personally love Cabana Bay. It is our kids' favorite resort. If you're a Disney person, this reminds me more of like Pop Century. We've stayed there for a week for a family vacation last summer, and we had loved it. At Cabana Bay, you have a lazy river, a pool with a slide. There's actually a bowling alley at Cabana Bay. So if you're there, you don't mind the distance to Epic. Keep in mind 15, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 if it's a busy day and there's a lot of traffic. But if you're okay with that, Cabana Bay is a great family resort. There's all kinds of activities to keep your kids busy on non-resort days. Across the street from Cabana Bay is Aventura. So Aventura is on the same level with the Stella Nova resorts and the Terra Luna resort. It is a prime value hotel. I view Aventura as like a great quick trip hotel for families. It's great for couples, in my opinion. We went there for our first visit to Universal, and we enjoyed it. Our kid doesn't mind. It has a smaller pool, but we do enjoy Aventura. It's on the quieter side, so if you like the quiet, this may be the resort for you. It's across the street from Cabana Bay, so keep in mind the distance to Epic. I don't know that it would be the best resort for Epic unless you're okay with that bus ride. Aventura is typically in the same pricing as like Stella Nova and Terra Luna. So in my opinion, if you're going to pay around the same price, I would check one of those resorts first, especially Stella Nova for that walking distance to Epic. So your other hotels at Universal Orlando are all in the Signature Collection. So you have Sapphire Falls, Royal Pacific, Portofino Bay, and the Hard Rock. And these are all central to City Walk. Sapphire Falls is right across the street from Aventura. The nice thing with Sapphire Falls is you do have the water taxi to City Walk, but you're still gonna have to take a bus to Epic Universe. All of these hotels that we're talking about in this tier, you're gonna have to take a bus to Epic unless you drive to Epic. Sapphire Falls is gonna cost in between the top 3 that we're about to talk about and say the rest of the resort. It's considered a Signature Collection, so it does have a little bit of a higher price. Think mid 200s and up, but it doesn't come with the extra benefit of an express pass. Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, and Portofino Bay are beautiful hotels. They are Signature Collection hotels similar to Grand Helios. The main difference is Grand Helios, you can walk into Epic. The other 3 are walking distance to City Walk and the main Universal Orlando parks. Also, Grand Helios does not come with Express Pass at this time of recording, but the other 3, the Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, and Portofino Bay, do give you express passes for the main parks at Universal Orlando. For these hotels, they're going to start around $300 to $500, and I've even seen them up into $700 a night, just depending how busy the parks are. People love these because they come with that express pass. We have stayed at them because of the express pass. With all their Signature hotels, you're going to have nice restaurants. nice pools, all the amenities. I am going to do a full video breaking down each Universal Orlando resort, but since this one we're specifically talking about distance to Epic and which one is best for staying at Epic, we're just going to go over a brief overview. These hotels are best for families that do spend a lot of time in the original park, and they also want that express pass included. While Epic is not a walking distance, it is a shuttle ride over, and it's not a horrible ride. I would skip these hotels if you are planning just to do Epic in this trip, or the main portion of your trip is going to Epic and you prefer not having to take a shuttle to go back and forth anytime you want to go back to the room. These resorts make more sense if this isn't your first Universal trip and you're okay with the ride back and forth and you really want those express passes. In closing, I love all the Universal Orlando hotels, and I think it really comes down to budget and preference. For us personally, we have stayed at the main hotels and done the bus ride to Epic. We've also stayed at Stella and walked across the street to Epic, and we're okay with both. I'm a big budget person, so I'm always looking for the best price when I'm booking our hotel, and crowd level. Like if I know I'm going to be there and it's spring break, or I know I'm going to be there and it's a busier time of the year, I will look for the pricing for the hotels that come with the express pass. So if I was to break it down simply for the 3 tiers, tier 1 is we want to walk to Epic, and we will pay more to do so. Granted, I don't know that you're gonna pay more for Stella compared to some of the other hotels. Tier 2 is more if you're on a budget, you still wanna be close to Epic, and you need the extra space for your kids. And tier 3 is if you care more about the original parks or you're wanting that express pass. Epic is still important, but not the main reason you're coming on the trip. Then I would stay at one of the tier 3 hotels in this video, not overall. For my family, we actually took larger family trip this past fall to Epic, and we stayed at Stella, and we had a great time. We had 3 hotel rooms for all of us, and my in-laws had scooters, and it was no problem getting them in and out of the buses, or we actually walked over to Epic quite a bit. And it was nice because if we wanted to take a midday break, we were close enough that we didn't feel bad having to go get on the bus and ride all the way back to the main parks. We just walked back over to Epic, or we got on the bus. It's literally, you go to the red light, it's right across the street, walk from Epic Universe. And we really enjoyed it. So if you're staring at all these options and still feel overwhelmed, I help families match the right hotel to their budget and priorities. And I'll make sure to put my free planning information in the description box. You can always reach out to us to letsmakememoriestravel.com and push the start planning button, or you can email me at Christina@letsmakememoriestravel.com and let us know if we can help you plan your next vacation. I hope this video helps you plan your Epic trip, and please let us know in the comments, when are you going and which hotel are you looking at? YouTube thinks that this video would be a good one for you to watch, so please check it out and please like and subscribe. Bye!